Hey guys, meteorologist Doug Hetty want to give you guys an update on storm system, which is developing into the northern parts of the plains, is going to push through the central plains, and then eventually parts of the southeastern parts of the U.S., and then roll up through New England. But a pretty big snow event for a good chunk of the country. So we're going to break it down for you here and take a look and see what's going to happen over the next few days. Still drinking my coffee, I think third cup so far, which is okay. All right, so this map, we're looking at the upper levels. This is called 500 millibar of pressure, and this is about 18,000 feet or so up in the atmosphere. But what you see here is where you see the brighter colors. So we're looking at the oranges and the yellows. That's the storm energy. So that's where the center of the storm is, and that's what we really need to watch to see where is the heaviest track of snow going to go. So we're watching up here. So this little intense guy gets going, pushes all the way into parts of Kansas. You can see the circulation right down here. Let me scroll down just a little bit, and then we want to see where he tracks out. Now, I want you to look at the tilt. So we call this a positive tilt. If you can see my cursor, it goes back from the Great Lakes back to the southwest. That is when a storm is developing. When it leans back the other way, when it goes northwest to southeast, that's when the system is matured, and that's when you're going to see your biggest snows. So for the central plains, the system is still getting organized. Watch it though, as we get into Sunday, it starts to shift to zero tilt and then eventually a negative tilt, and that's when the big snows are going to occur. So let's break this down first. Let's start with the northern plains, and then we're going to go to my region, which is the Joplin area, and then we're going to go out across the eastern parts of the U.S. So I'm going to pull up northern parts of the plains. We're going to look at snow first, and we'll look at timing, and then we'll look at amounts, and then we'll do that for the entire country here. So first off, we're going to go to our, I'm using the NAM model right here. I don't really like the NAM, but it's a short range model. It gives you an idea. I think it has a better handle on the next 24 to 48 hours than the GFS does, which is another American model, but the GFS is doing better after 48 hours. So we're going to break all that down. But of course, this fits right into the heady pattern, right where we should be for this time of the year. This storm system is supposed to be here. We just don't have a ton of cold air with it. Okay, so let's go back to, for the northern plains, this event gets going tomorrow. Here's 23Z, which is 5 p.m. today. So let's go. You can see the snow develops North Dakota. So from Minot, Bismarck over toward Dickinson, and then Fargo, and then Sioux Falls, South Dakota, which is about right there. You can see the snow picks up tomorrow morning, and then it gets into Iowa, so Des Moines, and then Sioux City, all getting into the action. Then you can see it start pushing south toward the Kansas City metro area by the time we head toward midnight on Friday. So let's look at amounts for this region. How much snow could they get? We're going to use the 10-to-1 ratio. That means 10 inches of snow is equivalent to 1 inch of rain. And when you get a wet snow, your ratio is closer to 10-to-1. You get a very dry snow like my area, Joplin. We got a dry snow last week. Those ratios were 16-to-1, 18-to-1 because it was so cold. All right, snowfall amounts. This is an idea, but you can see from North Dakota, eastern part of South Dakota, southwestern Minnesota, down toward Des Moines, we're going to have a nice swath of 7 to 12 inches of snow. Once you get toward Sioux City, 3 or 4, Omaha, 2 or 3 inches of snow. So, but this is a pretty heavy band of snow that is going to pick up for the northern plains. Let's move to the central plains. So let's continue, and this is going to be a little bit more of my area, which is southwestern parts of Missouri. All right, let's go back to the rain and snow, and we'll take a look. All right, so we're looking at midnight Friday night. You can see rain starts to pick up. See, here's a low pressure way down in Texas. You can follow these kind of hatch marks here. This is called an inverted trough, so it allows warm air to sink into the system. It gets pulled in. So let's go through time. You can see rain develops southwestern Missouri. We switch over to snow, eastern Kansas, and then as we go into Saturday morning, it's kind of a rain-snow mix for Joplin, northwest Arkansas, Springfield, and then it switches eventually all over to snow. This is about noon on Sunday as we go into Sunday afternoon, and then by Sunday evening, southwestern Missouri, northeastern Oklahoma is pretty much done. So snowfall amounts are going to be light because remember, this is when the storm is maturing. and it is starting to get going in north central Arkansas and then through the Boot Hill, Missouri. And I don't think this system is going to go this far south. Again, we're looking at the NAM model. I think it's going to be a little bit farther north. So let's switch to the GFS. And what this is going to show you is the snow is a little bit farther north, so like Cape Girardeau over toward Jonesboro, Arkansas. All right, so let's look at possible amounts. We'll look, might as well look at the GFS. Let's see here. We're going to use the 10-to-1 ratio again. So the Kansas City metro area, very likely at least 3 inches of snow. There may be isolated 4-inch amounts. But I'd say 3 over toward Lawrence, Kansas City. Once you get down towards southeastern Kansas, we're talking 1, maybe 2 inches. Northeastern Oklahoma, maybe 1 inch. The Joplin metro, 1 to 2 inches. Springfield, probably 2 to 3 inches. Northwestern Arkansas, 1 to 2 inches. So the amounts are going to be light. It's going to be very wet snow, but still could cause some issues out there. All right, let's go to the eastern parts of the U.S. So we're going to go to the mid-Atlantic states. So now we're switching to the part of the storm that is mainly going to be Saturday night and then heading into Sunday. All right, let's go back to our simulated radar picture. So we're starting now midnight Saturday night. You see rain, snow here at the bottom of your screen starting to pick up in Tennessee and then Kentucky as this storm system starts to take a northeasterly turn. All right, so let's kind of go through time. So here's noon on Sunday. Look at the very heavy snow, Kentucky, and then stretching back toward Nashville. Kind of a rain-snow mix, Virginia, West Virginia. Let's continue to work northeast. Very heavy snow. So this is somewhat of a nor'easter, kind of. It's not actually, the area below pressure is not actually out across the ocean, but you can see the warm air pulling into the system. So D.C. is right on that line of rain and snow, and then very heavy snow through Virginia, West Virginia, back through Kentucky. Pittsburgh, PA is all going to be all snow. But the major cities right along the coast, they're going to be mainly rain with some snow mixing in. So you can see by Sunday night, very heavy snow, Pennsylvania, getting into New York, northern New Jersey, New York, but then it will switch over to rain as that warm air gets pulled in. So the major cities aren't going to see a big snow. This is going to be more inland. Central PA, Western PA, New York, over toward Buffalo, Albany, New York, all getting very heavy snow. So this is Monday morning. Let's go to Monday evening. You can see the system finally is starting to taper off. So let's look at snowfall amounts. We'll look at the southeastern parts of the U.S. so we can look at Kentucky and Tennessee first. And let's go here. Ooh, that's not what I wanted. Close. Close. All right. We're going to use the 10-to-1 ratio again because this is a wet snow. All right, so you can see from north central Arkansas, and I really think there's going to be a pocket here because this system really matures. Could be Jonesboro that gets it closer to that 4, 5, 6 range. And then 6 to 12 inches, northern Tennessee through Kentucky. Look at this. Appalachian Mountains can pick up 1.5 feet of snow all the way up into West Virginia. So a nice solid stripe of 6 to 12 inches of snow. Let's get into New England. And you can see now there's portions here where you see 13, 14, 15 inches. There are going to be some areas that get a foot of snow. But I think in general, we're looking 6 to 12 inches from Kentucky, West Virginia, even eastern Ohio, most of Pennsylvania, New York, and then all the way up into Maine. So pretty big system, which is going to affect most areas over the next 3 or 4 days. Again, this fits right into the pattern. We're on about 63, 64-day cycle this year, and we do have a few storm systems that are going to be snowmakers, very typical for La Nina. Of course, I'm going to keep you guys updated as this storm system evolves over the next couple days. Have a great, what is today? Have a great Thursday.